My name is Casey, hanging out here in the Ballad Music Studio. We've been talking about this for a minute. Been really excited about this for a minute. I'm joined now by singer, songwriter, producer, multi-time Hall of Fame. It's probably easier just to say, hey, Dave Stewart, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I appreciate you coming in today, having a little time for us.
No, I've been in here quite a few times, and I always enjoy it.
Well, good. And you got something going on Saturday. I know a lot of folks are going to enjoy. This is it's Dave Does Dylan, right?
Yeah, it's. I didn't really start off as me intending to make an album, but about a year ago, in between, producing or whatever, if I was in a hotel room waiting to do a show in Europe, I just put the iPhone on a stick and sing some Dylan songs and post them. And you see, when I was about 15 or 16 and playing in a folk club for the first time, that's what I used to sing, that and blues songs, much to the amazement of the people up there, because I'm, quite old now. And back then, up in the northeast of England, they were singing, sea shanties or coal mining songs and stuff like that.
Did you ever veer into like skiffle at all? You ever do any of that kind of stuff?
No? I actually just looked about 12 when I was about 16. So there was this tiny little guy got up, and my voice had dropped, and I'd start singing a Dylan song, and people were like, what the hell is this? And before that, you see, I just wanted to play football, we call it, like soccer, for my team, and I never listened to music. And then somebody broke my leg, and the same month, my mum left my dad. In the same month, my brother went to college. I was just sitting around in the house.
Wait, this is different.
Yeah, like completely like my life ruined kind of thing when I was about 13 or 14. And my cousin had sent from Memphis a box with 2 pair of Levi Gold corduroy jeans in it and some blues albums. And that's how I started listening to music. And my brother had left behind 2 Bob Dylan albums, very early ones. And that was the beginning of me playing. Most of people might be confused and think, oh, isn't he the electronic Sweet Dreams, Eurythmics?
Right.
Which I am. But to me, it's all blues music. In fact, I made a movie called Deep Blues in 1991 with Robert Palmer, who wrote the book. Mm-hmm. What was the question?
We were talking about how you're playing Saturday.
Oh, yeah. So, so I'm going to play on Saturday at that live at Analog under the Hutton Hotel. And I'm doing a set of Dylan songs, which all started, as I said, with these iPhone recordings. Yeah. And it's coming out on vinyl as well.
So then you're the way that you're into Dylan and kind of what he means to you as an artist, then it's not like you discovered music and then got into Bob Dylan. Like from what you're talking about, it sounds like Bob Dylan is a big part of the reason you love music.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was sort of my introduction, was listening to Bob Dylan and, Robert Johnson, King of the Delta Blues Singers. But, I had a very wild and interesting moment in my life when I was in a studio in LA in the middle of the 80s, and the receptionist rang through and she said, Bob Dylan's on the phone for you. And I thought it was my friend larking around.
And you hadn't met him at this point?
I never met him, and I thought it was my friend from Ireland just messing about.
Right.
And I went, oh, yeah, right. So I pick up the phone, and there's this unmistakable voice like nobody could really imitate. Timothy Chalamet did a good job, but this is...
Right.
I could tell that this wasn't my friend. And from then on, we became friends. We met up that night, and I've had lots of adventures with Bob. I've filmed him. I've shot, him in the street, just the 2 of us walking around. He's got a top hat on. You can see it on YouTube. A song called Blood in My Eyes, and loads of things we've done, crazy things.
And that has to be, I would imagine, somebody who's had that kind of impact on you early, and then to go on and have a relationship and be friends and work with them. That to me, that kind of has to be what making it feels like, I would imagine.
There's all sorts of making it, isn't it? I mean, when you first make a loaf of bread and it comes out right, that's making it.
Yeah.
When you first meet a girl and you manage to sort of not fumble about, that's making it. So meeting and working with people that you've respected and just, well, I mean, honestly, Bob, as a songwriter is like, just mind-blowingly unbelievable. And having sat with him in my kitchen while we're busy knocking around and he's busy working out a song and the words are tumbling out his mouth, it's like watching, genius at work.
Like watching Picasso paint or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
That is outstanding. Talking to Dave Stewart here on Lightning 100 live in the Valid Music Studio. We're talking about a show that's going to happen on Saturday, Analog at Hutton Hotel. Dave does Dylan, and then you're actually going to be releasing this April the 12th. It's going to come out limited edition vinyl for Record Store Day. And that looks like a little Nashville skyline kind of vibe.
Exactly, but it wasn't intentional. It was a photo this lovely girl Michelle took a little bit ago in the garden. Yeah. And she was actually, we'd been taking photos and then she just was on the ground changing something. And I was walking towards her and she just went bam, 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 bam. And I said, oh my God, that looks a bit like Nashville skyline.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man, that is so cool. So then would you say, and I know when we're talking about favorites, it becomes a dicey thing, but I mean, would you say this kind of represents some of your personal cream of the crop of the Dylan catalog?
Well, it's very hard because, I'm a great admirer of just about every Dylan album and, the whole of Blonde on Blonde, right through to Murder Most Foul or, you could name any song and I would go, yes, that's great. I've stood on stage with them playing live, like a Rolling Stone and Tokyo, and I've been all over the place and witnessed so many amazing things with him and also listened to every single album. And so I couldn't say these are like all my favorites, but what they are is they're a hint of what I was doing when I was like 15 or 16, mixed with like what I went for, because Dylan has many sides, as you know, and I went for a sort of more romantic kind of side of Dylan, which very rarely gets mentioned. It's usually, Dylan, social political songwriter, blah, 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 which he is brilliant at. But he also has a great way with words when he's talking about, affairs of the heart. I mean, most heartbreaking song, I suppose, is Sarah, when he's talking about, singing about their breakup. And there's so many of them. And so about, 60% of the set I'll play on Saturday is kind of romantic songs, and that's why I chose to have 2 violas, 2 cellos, Dan Dugmore on pedal steel, who's I've played with on 10 albums, and Mike Rojas on piano. They're both just amazing, and it's no drums or anything. I'm just going to have this unique sound. I don't think I've ever heard that mixture of sound.
The first word that comes to mind is lush. It just sounds like it's going to be pretty lush.
Yeah, it's going to be warm.
There you go. All right. We got Dave Stewart here with us on Lightning 100, and you mentioned, I know you're still a big fan, and I was reading, do you still get like every album when it comes out, and you get all the reissues, and you get everything done?
And the books, and the lyric books, and the stories, and everything,
Right on. Do you have, like, in terms of the records, do you have a specific version of a specific album that's kind of your go-to? Like, do you have one that you think is just...
Well, I have an old, record player. Well, I've got many different kinds of record players, but there's one particular one, and I live a little bit of the time on a tiny island, 1/2 mile by 3 mile, and there I have one of these, very early 60s record players. You switch on and it warms up and glows a bit, and it's just all in like it's just one box basically. You open the lid and it still works great, treble, bass and volume. And then I will often just stick on Blonde on Blonde or Another Side of Bob Dylan or whatever, have a martini as the sun's going down, and play along with it.
Kind of get it all figured out there. I like that.
Well, you got to, haven't you?
Honestly, I kind of want to hear more about you living on an island with a stack of records. I'm curious about that part.
Well, yeah, no, I've got a studio on this island, and I sort of can go in there and work with different artists and write songs and stuff. But it's hard to explain it, really. Yeah. It's so tiny, half a mile wide, so you can imagine it's like the length of a street.
Yeah, logistically, just getting on and off of it probably has its own
challenges.
There's
no airport or anything,
Man, that's wild. So we're hanging out again, and we're very, very excited about Dave Does Dylan. Mm-hmm. It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be Analog at Hutton Hotel, and this is also a TV taping, is it not? There's a special.
Yeah. It's PBS filming it for TV. Yeah.
And I think I read, and correct me, but maybe in July, maybe in the summer, I think that's all it was going to probably start airing then, maybe.
That's right. Yeah, they have to wait till Record Store Day has a sort of exclusive.
Well, yeah. And again, that's what this is being released for. You'll be able to get it on April the 12th. It is a limited edition vinyl release for Record Store Day of Dave Does Dylan. And I guess we've been sitting here talking for a while. Could I get you to play a song for us?
Sure, yeah. So I was talking about romantic songs. This one people might know, even though, it's not one of his most famous songs, but it's been covered by a few people. But as I said, I just recorded all of these singing straight into the iPhone with a mic on the guitar, and kind of doing the same thing here. So, all right. Do you want me to start?
Ready when you are.
Okay, this is called Make You Feel My Love. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace, make you feel my love. When evening shadows and the stars appear and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years, make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. There's nothing that I wouldn't do, make you feel my love. Storms are raging on the rolling sea, on the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. There's nothing that I wouldn't do. I'd go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love.
I'm greedy. I'm going to let it ring all the way out. Right on.
Yeah, I have to apologize. I'm from the northeast of England, so if it's my accent, might not be exactly sounding like I'm from the Hibbing or somewhere in the Americas, but
I feel like we can probably give you a pass on that, Dave. We can. I think that'll be okay.
Okay, yeah.
Right on. Dave Stewart, Saturday, Analog at Hutton Hotel. Going to be doing Dave Does Dylan. It is a TV taping. It'll be popping up on TV a little later on in the summer. The Dave Does Dylan LP. It's a limited edition vinyl release for Record Store Day coming up April the 12th. And, and I'm going to do that Nashville thing if it hasn't even been released yet. But are we thinking about Dave Does Dylan 2 already?
Well, as I was saying, I'm going to be playing with these lovely kind of cello, violas, players. And my hometown of Sunderland, which has been named actually as a music city, which is Nashville, in the very northeast of England, was a very poor coal mining shipbuilding town, is now going from strength to strength. And I'm going to sort of go up to Sunderland and play when they're busy launching that. And I'm going to do this.
Right on.
Dave Does Dylan. They're mad about Bob Dylan up there.
Oh, that's very cool. Let's see, Sunderland AFC, is that your team?
Yes.
Right on, right on. All right. Well, first just come by whenever you want, but definitely if you get part 2 happening, let's come by and talk about that too. All right, Dave?
All right, great. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much for being here again. Dave Stewart, Dave Does Dylan, coming up Saturday, Analog at Hutton Hotel.